Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to yet another one. Fucking another one. What is this, 323, 324?
What?
What's our episode count?
Oh, this is 333.
333.
Triple three. So we're doing something special.
We're halfway to the mark of the beast.
That's right. The half beast. We're at the mark of the half beast. We're on it. This is our half beast episode.
This is our equivalent to our little Nicky. So, we're halfway to the devil. So, this is another TADPOG podcast show where two old guys play old games.
That was a good start. That was a strong start.
Any start with Little Nicky's a good start.
I got show notes started. First show note, Little Nicky trailer.
Any reference to when Adam Sandler's career started to decline in my eyes.
Really? That is
I feel like that's the movie.
Is it,
That's
right?
the transition movie.
What about, because Big Daddy I thought was okay.
Yeah, I was okay with it.
It was kind of different, right?
Yeah.
And then where does Mr. Deeds fall in there? Mr. Deeds is after Little Nicky,
Yeah,
right?
I never even saw that one.
Mr. Deeds is another one that I also thought was okay, but I might have been because I got hand jobs while I watched that movie.
That's your Pavlovian response.
Right. I can't watch that movie without just feeling a little tingle. I'm Dave, your respectable host, and that was my intro story. You're welcome.
There we go.
Because I don't have anything prepared.
Because, let's see. So it's Original Flavor Wednesday. So we're playing down through Digital Trends Top 25 Sega Genesis games. Today we are on number 20, Jurassic Park, The Lost World. Yep.
That's it.
I'm just going to burp a little bit.
This is
all professional-like.
Yeah. Well, sure. You did it quietly. It's fine. I'm sure only
just like a dramatic pause.
Yeah. Truncate silence might even take it out.
This game likes dramatic pauses, Dave. Something has
I can't remember what it is.
Survived!
I remembered.
So, yeah, that's how that game starts. But before we tear into Jurassic Park, The Lost World.
Or Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Dark.
Duran. That's where they clone Duran. And they build a park
and they
around
rampage through.
Hungry like the wolf, too. Electric Boogaloo.
Isla Rocklar. I'm your bearded host, Tyler. And I guess a few things. One, in reference to last week when we listened to the Drunk Taryn Gets Cheated at Friends quadrilogy of calls, she ended it saying, had a sex dream about one of you, not going to tell you what it is. So after we recorded, I sent her a text saying we listened to all her calls, ask her who the sex dream was about.
Right.
Did not reply to me. I wake up the next morning to 4 text messages saying, "Oh Lord, oh God, maybe you should just go ahead and not do calls altogether so my drunk ass can't call in."
Did she not realize that she had said that? Did she not remember that she had said that?
I don't think she remembered, because then I asked her again, oh, well, that's okay. Who was it about? Did not hear from her again until about 9 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
And she's watching Gilmore Girls. She had to text me gushing about Gilmore Girls.
And you asked her again, of course.
So then I asked her again, who was this dream about?
Yeah.
And she was like, I am not going to tell you. She's like, I feel bad about it. I was like, Drunk Taryn, subconsciously, you wanted us to know. And she's like, well, Drunk Taryn's an attention whore. She should shut her mouth.
So you didn't find out?
No, she would not tell me.
I think it's interesting because she texted me. And I feel like now after you said that, I feel like maybe she was trying to goad me into asking.
Maybe it's It's probably you then.
Well, it probably is.
Because she's going to tell me, I'm not going to tell you because I'm not going to hurt your feelings. Hey, Dave.
What's up, buddy? Have you talked to Tyler recently? No? Okay.
Oh, man, I was so drunk. What did my calls even say?
I'm so drunk right now.
But I tried to FaceTime you. Sorry.
That does happen a lot.
But have you ever had, sex dreams are strangely powerful things.
Yeah, man, are we going to talk about sex dreams?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why not?
man.
Why not?
Okay. All right.
It's Jurassic Park. Why would we not talk about sex dreams?
It is the half mark of the beast. So it makes sense.
So, so half mark of the beast, we'll do halfway to carnal desires, which is dreams about sex.
Okay.
And
Go on.
And then at 666, we'll just tell all of our actual sex stories. All of them.
Well, that's going to be a short half on my part.
Let's see, because I remember there have been twice where I've had sex dreams about girls I have not been particularly attracted to.
Yeah.
After you have the sex dream, game changer.
Really?
Total game changer.
You became attracted to them?
Yep. The first one was basically a threesome dream about my high school girlfriend and her best friend. Me, a raptor and Tyrannosaurus Rex. God, you could kind of compare them to a raptor and Tyrannosaurus Rex, actually.
They can switch genders in Jurassic Park as well. So if that adds like a layer to your fantasy.
So 2 Bailey Jays. Oh, God, fantastic.
Yeah.
But I remember having the dream because I was having sex with 99% of my dreams that are sexual, I always get cock blocked at the end. Like, out of 100 sex dreams that I've had, I think I've had actual sex in the dream like twice.
So it's like a sitcom or something where like something interjects itself in a humorous fashion, and you're left just holding your peace.
Yep. Same way with getting in fights in dreams. I just suddenly something happens and I get super slow or super weak before I have to do it in a dream. So both cock blocked, can't win a fight. I don't know. What's my subconscious trying to tell me? I also have the dream a lot where my teeth fall out. I know that's a confidence thing.
That is a confidence thing. I used to have that a lot. And then I stopped remembering my dreams. So I probably still have them. I can fix that for you, Tyler. It's called get 4 hours of sleep a night. For 4 years.
Forever.
You'll just you won't remember those teeth falling out dreams anymore.
But let's see, because I was fooling around, but not actually having sex with my current girlfriend in the dream. Her best friend comes in. I start fooling around with the best friend and then come in her best friend's mouth.
I did not expect that came out of fucking left field, man. Like you didn't ease us into that or anything. You're just like, I was having a dream. I came in her mouth.
And then my dream girlfriend got super mad at me. Like she was fine with me, like fooling around with her best friend. But whenever I came, then she was mad.
Yeah.
So I tell her about the dream the next day.
Wait, in IRL, in the meat space, you tell her?
IRL, I tell her about the dream.
How was she cool with this?
Until
Probably
I told
not.
her I came in her mouth, and then real girlfriend was mad about coming in dream girlfriend's mouth.
Yeah. No, you can't tell that.
But from that point on, I was totally attracted to her best friend.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the second one I want to reference is a girl like I did not find attractive. Like I thought her friend was cute.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like, until after that dream. There was another girl who I was not attracted to. I was mildly turned off by her.
Really?
Had a sex dream about her.
Yeah.
10 years ago, and I still think she's attractive.
Unlocked your potential desire.
Yeah, I just flipped it over.
Yeah. Do you think that she cast a spell on you?
Maybe. She is pretty terrible.
A magical spell. Maybe she got some reagents. She got some mandrake root, some batwing, and cast a little love spell on you.
That guy I had 2 classes with in 6th grade. Yeah. And tangentially know through the hallways and other friends. Ooh.
For all you know, she had a huge crush on you. Have you ever experienced... I experienced this a lot. Well, I shouldn't say I experienced this present tense. I have experienced this several times because I moved around a lot as a kid. I remember when I moved away from Iowa. I used to live in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, in middle school, and then I moved to Paducah, and that's where I did high school, and then Murray and college. Okay, that's a lot of information no one needs. But I remember going back because I have a very good friend who lives in Cedar Rapids still, and when I was in college, I remember going back to visit him, or it was like at the end of high school, and during that time, 2 girls came up to me and said, I had the biggest crush on you. And my response is like a weird mixture of like flattery, but like what comes out is, why did you say anything?
Yep.
And I think what it just boils down to is like, I mean, according to anyone who's ever told me that has been like, well, you are just completely fucking oblivious. Like you have no idea. Like I gave you signs. I asked you questions, and I'm like, well, people ask questions. How am I supposed to get that? Like I need what Nikki did. Like Nikki was like very blunt, where it's like, I like you. I like you. I think you're cute. I like you. And I was like, oh, I think this girl might like me.
Maybe. You're still kind of wondering.
She's on the fence, I'm pretty sure. But seriously, like, why is that?
There was a meme that Chandra posted that I identified with, like it was like me as a wife laying in bed. So, do you like me? I married you. What do you think? Well, I mean, did you marry me as a friend or did you marry me as a girlfriend? I was like, oh, I identify with that because I was still like always like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. No, I get that. I feel that's probably like
I eat hamburgers really gross. Are you sure?
Man, sex dreams.
I put my dick on the internet.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. Are you positive? Yeah, I'm amazed that. Yeah, I mentioned several times that Nikki started listening so she's like listening to like the end of the SNES list, and it's really weird because like now I get like text messages, and I say weird, but I mean like in the best possible way, because it's like it's really flattering to get a message from my wife that says, okay, episode 103, time mark 54 seconds. Tyler sounds just like Gene from Bob's Burgers. And before anyone goes back and like looks it up, I don't remember if that's the exact episode or timestamp. If you are interested, contact me. I'll let you know. But it's funny because it's like, I haven't thought about this forever. I'm texting back, no, he doesn't. And then I play it back and I'm like, okay, he kind of does, but only if you're listening for it. She's been on a Bob's Burgers.
That's
like
pretty good.
Binge
Bob's Burgers
recently.
is a fucking great show.
It is a really, really good show.
I'm surprised it's still going.
Better than Archer. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. It's better than Archer.
I think they fill 2 very different comedy voids for me.
They do. And the only reason I compare them
Because
is John Benjamin. That is the only reason I'd even put them in the same arena together.
The Archer episode that begins as a Bob's Burgers episode is so good. Because it's Bob's Burgers done in the Archer animation style. Oh, that's good.
And I love the crossovers like that, like the C-Lab crossover that Archer did. Like that is where I kind of like got interested in Archer again. Because the first season of Archer I loved.
Yep.
And then the second season, like halfway through, for some reason, I felt like the joke was just. I felt like I get the joke, and I'm kind of over the joke. But then they like keep reeling me back in with like different things. And that C-Lab one was very much one of those where it's like, oh yeah, man, I used to watch the shit out of C-Lab.
They've changed the formula now because they're not like a spy company or whatever.
Oh really? I haven't seen.
They mix it up because it was basically Archer Vice for a while where like they become drug dealers.
Oh no, I haven't seen any of that.
No.
All right, I need to check that stuff out. Sex dreams?
Sex dreams. I think that's all, because I remember, and the only other time, I remember the first time I actually ever had sex in a dream was with my high school algebra teacher.
Really?
Yep. And she was attractive.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, it was,
So that
I
makes
remember,
sense.
like,
it wasn't like my high school algebra teacher where it's like, that would be a really gross dream.
Right. I remember it being like, I remember feeling the sensation of my penis entering dream vagina.
Oh man, that was
Like
weird.
I had
that schemed me out, man.
If it's skeeved you, I'd imagine how Jacob feels right now.
Oh, Jacob, let us know.
But I remember like I had a physical, actual reaction to it.
Yeah.
But like I think because my brain could process how it feels in real life, so
Right.
it translated as to like the same feeling as like my dick falling asleep.
I like stick with dick. I like it when you say dick instead of penis.
So my dick.
Your gooter. Oh.
But it was also the same way whenever I died in one of my dreams.
You died in one of your dreams?
Because I was dressed
But
as
you're-
Bartman. I had to stop a tornado from destroying Paducah.
I love that you're dressed as Bartman.
Yep.
You're not Bartman. You're just dressed as Bartman.
And like I jumped into the tornado, and it was like my whole body, the feeling of my whole body falling asleep.
I've always woken up right before I've died in a dream. I have had that dream before where I'm flying and then I stop flying all of a sudden. Have you ever had that? That one sucks.
Falling from like really, really tall heights.
Yeah.
And feeling like in the dream, like my stomach rise up in my throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I had a dream like that as a kid, and waking up on the floor. And like that made me scared to sleep for a while because like that was very much like when your penis entered the dream vagina, as you eloquently put it earlier. Where it's one of those moments where it's like, oh God, like things I dream about like actually have a physical component to them. Because it's like I had a dream about falling and then I fell the fuck out of bed. What if I had been sleeping on a skyscraper? I'd be dead.
I do. I love getting online and finding dream interpretation translators, basically finding elements in your dream you remember and what they mean. How they figure this out, I don't know. But
Well,
I'll buy it. It's fine.
I don't know how much of it is bullshit, but I also like doing that. But I also like, as I do it, I'm thinking to myself, don't read too much into this because this is probably something that someone with an education and an art degree like I have wrote. Sex dreams, so here's what's weird. You know how people always say that everyone you dream, like everyone you've seen in your dream is someone that you've
Yeah,
seen
you can't make up a
before.
new face in a dream.
Is that true? Like, I mean, what is there science behind that?
I believe that because I remember dreaming about my internet girlfriend, Tiger Tiffy.
Yeah. Wow.
And I dreamed about, but I didn't exactly know. I had like one picture of her, but I hadn't like really sunk in what she looked like.
Okay.
So when I dreamed about her, it basically filled in someone's face.
A surrogate.
Right. And
A
I
dream surrogate.
didn't know this person until once I saw that face in my dream the next day. I saw her in the halls at school. I didn't know her, but I had seen
like
her
a
before.
subconscious thing where it's
Right.
like you didn't know the person, but you had noticed them, and your mind just kind of like filed it away in a weird like little file. Yeah. Maybe.
And after that dream, I was attracted to that girl.
Yeah. Well,
So-
that makes sense because now you notice her.
Yep.
Yeah. Usually when I have sex dreams, they are not people that I know. And I assume that, yes, maybe they're people I've seen, but I don't know them. And like we just talked about, maybe my brain categorized them. And they just pull them out where my brain's like, oh, let's see. He's horny. What do we got? Flip. Oh, here we go. This is a girl I guess he saw at a mall when he was 18. Here, let's use this. So it's typically, and I'll wake up and I'll be like, wow, who was that? That was a very weird experience. I would like to say it's a great experience, but my wife listens now, so I'm gonna like skate that line. So yeah, that's usually my experience. There was one time where I have to like obscure some details to protect some people. I had a sex dream about somebody. Oh, no, God, no. I didn't have a sex dream about somebody. I had a normal ass dream.
I had a sex dream about one of the guest hosts.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you who it is.
I had a normal dream about somebody, and I saw them. I had a normal dream about a woman, and when I saw her, I said, "I had a dream about you." And her immediate response, without skipping a fucking beat, was, "Oh, really? I'm much better in real life." I mean, it was just like I was stuck. Like if I were a D&D character, I failed my save, I dropped my weapons, and I was stunned for 1d3 rounds because it was just like one of those where it's like, what the fuck just happened to me? What did you do?
Are we in Frasier?
Good Lord, Niles. Oh shit. Do we feel sufficiently introed?
I think so.
That was good.
Yep.
That was good. Wow. Oh, I wonder how much trouble that's going to get me in. We'll see.
Yeah. So Jurassic Park, The Lost World.
It's actually The Lost World.
The Lost World, Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. And I bring that up because I think that is a very interesting syntax choice.
Yeah. Because, if you lead with Jurassic Park, you know immediately what you're getting. You start with The Lost World, and I don't think Jurassic Park.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, what do we get into here? We don't know.
Mm-hmm. But do you hear that, Dave?
I hear the sound of several undeterminable dinosaurs having sex with one another while they're switching genders.
Dream vaginas switching
genders. In dream vaginas. What do you think that sounds like, Tyler? I was also thinking it sounded a lot like Brian Posehn when he gets angry in an act. So I think that's very apt. That was a good impression. I love Brian Posehn, by the way. I do hear that, which of course ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia. Okay, guys. The Lost World, Jurassic Park, parentheses, Sega game. That is the entry in Wikipedia. A very, very short Wikipedia entry. Here we go. The Lost World, Jurassic Park is an action-adventure video game developed by Appaloosa Interactive and published by Sega for the Sega Genesis. It was released on September 16th, 1997. The Lost World, Jurassic Park is based on the film of the same name, which in turn is based on the novel by Michael Crichton. And then...
Did he only write the one original Jurassic Park and then Hollywood just spun off from there?
So he wrote Jurassic Park and then he wrote The Lost World.
Oh, okay.
Now, I haven't done any research on this. This is just kind of off the top of my head. So I do not know if this is accurate or not. But here's how I understand it. He wrote Jurassic Park. They made a movie adaptation of Jurassic Park. It was a huge deal. A huge deal. And then they said, you got to write another book. You have to write another book because we got to make a fucking movie. So in the end, spoilers, if you don't want to know the end of Jurassic Park, the book, which was written a long time ago,
yeah.
If you don't want to know the end of, if you plan on still reading that one someday, skip ahead a couple minutes because I'm going to spoil the end of that book. They fucking nuke the island at the end of Jurassic Park. That is why there's a bullshit second island. That's why there's a sister island where they actually bred the dinosaurs on and then transported them to the theme park island. It's because he didn't intend to write a fucking sequel to the book. It was just like, here's my story, and this is how it should end. And I applaud that because that's a great ending. Also, spoilers, if you haven't read the book and you just happen to just skip ahead to this point, skip ahead. John Hammond dies in the book, which is... It has to happen because, like, that is thematically that has to happen. So he doesn't die in the movie. So then he's like set up for like. So now I think he's in the Lost World. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen the Lost World in a long fucking time.
Is the second movie? Is the Lost World?
The Lost World is the second movie.
Okay, because I've seen the first one and I've seen the third one where Grant gets the raptor polka flute and becomes the raptor Pied Piper.
Okay, I have not seen the third one, so we are a perfect team.
Okay.
Here's my takeaway from the second movie. The second movie, Ian Malcolm goes back to the island, but he brings his daughter? And that is, I hope you heard the question mark. He brings his daughter?
This very, very dangerous place. No, I'm going to bring my daughter.
She's a gymnast,
fun.
And she does do flippy doos and all that for dinosaurs at some point in the movie, I think. It takes place in the second island, which is, I can't remember the name of it. but it's Site B.
So I saw it in the game. So it's like Solon, Solar.
They do say it in the
Starts with
game,
an S.
but I can't remember because it's bullshit.
Yeah, that is totally
Like my
bullshit.
brain, like I can actively feel my brain like rejecting it.
Who nuked the island?
I don't remember who nuked the island.
Okay.
It's been a long time since
So,
I
or
read
no,
that
who
book.
had acquired a nuclear warhead to set off on the island?
I think it was like a government thing. I
Yeah.
don't think it was like anybody who like flipped a button as they're flying.
I can
off the
make
helicopter.
dinosaurs. Of course, I have
Right.
a nuke.
and it might have been. And when I say nuke
His
the island,
fail safe.
right? And when I say nuke the island, I mean it might not have been like
Destroyed
an
it.
actual nuclear
Yeah.
bomb.
Yeah.
It might have just been explosives that were set up or something. A fail safe, exactly. And it is. Please let me just jump ahead of any corrections that I'm going to get. It has been since middle school that I've read that book. I did read that book like 4 fucking times, and that is my. I will never throw that book away. That I have a tattered paperback copy of Jurassic Park that I read it again, got to the end, read it again, got to the end, all while I listened to whale songs on my headset, on my Walkman. So that's how I spent a summer in Pennsylvania because it was awful.
Oh, because
The Lost World.
The Lost World.
Enough therapy for a moment. The Lost World.
All right, cut to the chase. I don't understand why this game is ranked above other, what I would say are really good games, Moonwalker aside.
Yeah. Okay. Here's my thing. I think, and I'm gonna launch off of what you just said. This game is on the list, but the original Jurassic Park Genesis game, where you can play as Alan Grant or the Raptor, that is not on the list. And I think that is a really weird decision that I feel like was made because it's a weird decision. Which almost makes
So I
me.
didn't know if an editor like just really liked it, so they shoehorned it in, like a personal favorite.
It could be. It could be. Here's the reason that Digital Trends says that it's on this list, and I think that it is a good reason. However, I still think it's bizarre to me that Jurassic Park is not on this list.
Yeah.
And maybe
Because
that's
I'd heard of Jurassic Park. I remember the game. I remember
Yes.
play as the Raptor.
Right.
Like, I've never freaking heard of this game.
Oh my God. I had never heard of this game either. But the reason they give for having this game on the list is that this was a 1997 Genesis game that pushes the hardware to its absolute limits. And that is true. That
doesn't make it one of the best games ever on the system.
I agree. It makes it an interesting game, I think, but I don't think it makes it one of the best games on the system.
Yeah.
If this were the top 25 interesting games for the Genesis, then I'm kind of on board, but I don't think, granted, we're not through the list yet. Alan, granted. You're welcome. Alan, granted, we're not through the list yet. However, I don't think that this game is as strong as it gets.
No, and there's so many Jurassic Park games.
There are.
Holy shit,
There are.
there's so many Jurassic Park games. I didn't know there were that many for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, because there's Jurassic Park, and that is a top-down shooter that I think is very, very similar to this game that we're talking about today, The Lost World, for the Genesis. And it's weird because they kind of do a flip-flop. Because the SNES Jurassic Park game was top-down shooter, the Genesis game was a platformer, and then The Lost World comes out for Genesis, and it is a top-down shooter. And I don't think it was The Lost World for SNES, but SNES got I think it was like Rampage Edition.
Yep.
It was Jurassic Park 2 or something like
Edition,
that.
yeah.
And that is like, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that is a Contra-style run and gunner.
Because there's one another a shadow corporation has like invaded the island to try and take it over. So they hire
That's
Alan
the one I'm
Grant
talking
runs
about.
in. Yeah, and it is Contra style. Like you have to kill all the enemy soldiers and shit like that. I
really liked that game as a kid. I owned it on the SNES, which actually makes me embarrassed that I can't remember if it is Jurassic Park 2. I think that was the title of it. I liked that game a lot.
I think it is because there wasn't an actual Jurassic Park sequel. Like they spun
At the
this game
time,
off and just
right.
saying it's Jurassic Park 2.
which I respect because honestly, any game with dinosaurs, like at a certain age, like that was fine. Bring it on. I would read any kind of media that had dinosaurs in it. Any movie that had dinosaurs in it, I would watch. Any game that had dinosaurs, bring it on. I'll try it. I'll try it at least. I loved that game because I didn't have Jurassic Park for the Genesis, which was the game that I wanted. I wanted that game. I wanted that platformer where I could play as the raptor. I needed it. I needed that game, and I didn't have a Genesis, so I was bound to only playing that game when I would go over to a friend's house who owned it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, playing the Raptors, glorious. The controls in that game are not great.
Yeah.
They're not great, and I remember that. And that might be why this game isn't on the list.
Don't care. Was a raptor.
Exactly. That's how I feel, and that's still how I feel. And that is a game that I don't feel like the first Jurassic Park game for the Genesis. I don't feel like I can look at objectively. I just cannot do it. I cannot look at that game and I still when I play that game feel giddy playing as the raptor. Like it still works for me. And it's like when I play it, I'm like, yeah, the controls are kind of shitty, but I'm the raptor and that's cool. I'm going to eat this guy. Watch. And then that's
I mean, I feel like that's like one of those fan services done just right, where it's like, oh, it'd be cool. Oh, they actually did that. Awesome.
Yeah.
But I remember the first Genesis game, it was dark. You turn it on, it's dark. It's sort of scary. I remember because the first Jurassic Park is scary. Because if you're within a 10-mile radius of a raptor, you're probably fucking dead.
right.
So it captured some of that nuance to it, as opposed to this game where it's just big game hunter just fucking killing dinosaurs.
Right. Because
Just like in the third movie where Alan Grant, Pied Piper's he's surrounded by raptors, has a raptor skull and blows into it, and they're all like, "Oh, cool, man. No, we're fine."
Did you see Jurassic World?
Yes, I did. Yes.
How does that compare? How does Alan Grant compare to Chris Pratt in that movie? Because Chris Pratt trains them and stuff, and he calms them down and rides a motorcycle with them.
I really like Jurassic World.
I did too, but I liked it as a fun movie, right? I didn't go into it expecting.
It doesn't have that
Jurassic
appeal
Park.
of could this be real? Could this happen? That
right.
mystique that the original had. No, it doesn't have that. It's just a fun popcorn movie with dinosaurs.
I agree. It's an entertaining movie.
It's a nostalgia movie to go back. Oh, I love Jurassic Park. Here's more.
And I do think they really cashed in on the nostalgia.
Yeah.
The end of that movie is bonkers. Because the end of that movie is dinosaur Die Hard.
Yep.
And it's part of me watching it was eye rolling, but the other half of me was dinosaurs!
Blue, he's back. Get him, Blue.
So it's weird. I have a question for you. Or actually, fuck that. I have a statement for you. I've decided after playing this game. I mentioned this. I streamed this game, by the way, on Twitch. If anybody is curious about the gameplay, look us up on Twitch, TADPOG Podcast, and the video will be there. I'll have a link in the show notes as well, so you can check it out and get an idea of it. During that stream, there's a level in this game where you're in a cave trying to find an allied hunter, and there are raptors in this cave. And as silly kind of as this game is, I don't want to say silly, but this game isn't a visceral game. It's not it doesn't evoke horror or anything like that, except for in this cave that's full of raptors. For some reason, the raptors still creep me out because I didn't want them to touch me because I felt if they touched me, I would die immediately. So I don't know if that's true or not because every time I saw one, I would freak out and just laser focus on that raptor and shoot it down with a machine gun. So as I was going through this cave, I'm just rambling and I'm this would make a cool tabletop survival horror game. And that's when I decided that's what my Delta Green game, I want to run it as a Jurassic Park game.
Okay. On Jurassic Park?
On Jurassic Park. I want to run it on Jurassic Park. When I had that idea, it sparked something deep inside of me because I remember I had the Jurassic Park board game as a kid, and I remember I loved it because it had the map all gridded out with paddocks and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Man, So I got to find that board game, and like I'm gonna have to. I'm like, this is gonna be a legit thing that's gonna take me 5 months, and I'm probably gonna give up 3 months in. So don't get your hopes up, listeners. What I'm saying. But I'm in love with the idea. Can I just say that? I'm in love with the idea.
I like it. I'm behind it.
So that's what I don't know what I'm going to do with Sanity. That's going to have to essentially come out. I think Sanity's going to, because like the
Dinosaurs fucking scary, dog.
It's cosmic horror.
We see goats and suddenly the goats are gone. We're like, oh shit, Sanity.
Yeah, but I do want to do a survival. I think a survival horror Jurassic Park game would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean I feel like that's how it should have been. Like I just remember like the kids hiding in the kitchen and just like the click of the one raptor nail whenever they walk. Like I feel like that's where it was good because dinosaurs they would kill you. They're fucking scary.
And that's kind of the point of the first movie. It's like the theme is you played God and this is what you get.
Yep.
And like that, because they need to hammer that message home and make these dinosaurs not friendly. Like they need to make them fucking abominations. Killing machines is what they need to make them. But
I guess that's what they did in World, sort of. Like
they kind of do go back to that, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like at least in the second movie, that's kind of, I don't know what the theme of the second movie is, honestly.
Yeah. And then
take gymnastics.
More Jeff Goldblum. yeah.
Which I'm fine with. I'm more. Bring it on. I want more Jeff Goldblum in my life.
But this game, because you start off and it's top-down view,
right?
And you're just rolling something. You're a big game hunter who.
Do you even get a name?
I guess. Because I remember just reading about it. You're rolling something.
Okay.
And he did something for the island in exchange for being able to hunt a T-Rex.
Oh, God. Okay, that's dumb.
So
anyway, right.
You're him, and you're just bagging and tagging dinosaurs.
You're doing missions.
Yeah. It's 4 levels that are big and maze-like.
Right.
You have different vehicles that you get in and go around, and you can either kill dinosaurs or trank them.
Right. I don't know why you would trank them.
If you trank 6 of them, you get like a crate with health and power-ups.
So that's how you get power-ups.
Yeah.
I never put that together. I always used the trank when I was like trying to conserve ammo.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, this game has its faults, but I did enjoy this game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a great game, but I did enjoy this game. I think it was interesting that the game was open. It's a little sandboxy because you have a mission, a mobile mission base. You have a mobile base.
Yeah.
God, that took me forever to get there. You have a mobile base. And
you have like a side of operations that can somewhat move around.
It's got wheels on it. What is it? You have a mobile base of operations. And from this base, you set up and then you can go to different parts of the map. And like depending on what part of the map you do, it'll trigger a mission. So like for instance, if you go south from the beginning, of the mobile base, you trigger a mission where you have to capture stegosauruses. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. I love that. And I love that you don't have to go that way. You don't have to go south. You could go to the north and then do the cave mission where you rescue a hunter from the raptors in the cave. Mm-hmm. So I love that aspect of it. And I love that the missions aren't all shoot the dinosaur. OMG, shoot the dinosaur. Yeah. The missions are like, you got to lure this stegosaurus.
I need 6 Tyrannosaurus teeth. Please go out and fetch me.
Well, yeah, and they're not fetch quests either, at least the ones that I played. Well, I take it back. There is one where you have to set up comm links, and that felt like a fetch quest to me because they send you out and they're like, okay, turn on these comm links, and then you have to kind of roam the map and find them.
Yeah, because the car controls or the truck controls are just, I didn't like them.
They're horrible. They here's what it felt like to me because you also get a hovercraft in the game. They control identical. So like that felt to me like sloppy programming because like it felt perfect in the hovercraft because it's kind of slippery.
You're in the water.
And it's kind of, it slides around. You can reverse and like turn it around seamlessly, but it doesn't feel right in the Jeep.
Yeah.
And like in or whatever it is, the Ford Expedition, whatever the fuck. It's it feels like you're driving a hovercraft, which is absolutely absurd. And like I couldn't understand why they made
muddy.
the
It's
controls.
very muddy in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It's very muddy.
So I didn't like the driving wasn't fun for me.
And well, the controls too, like firing the gun and moving around were a little slow, and
Sure.
the frame rate suffers really badly.
There's a lot of slowdown because it is, like I said, it's pushing that hardware to the limit.
But this game, the one that is a similar style of the SNES, I feel like that looked better because this game sort of reminds me of visually a little bit of Populous, and the play style, also the way you move around and shoot things, reminded me of Secret of Evermore for some reason.
Yeah.
But it looks more to me like that shitty Lord of the Rings game for Super Nintendo. Like it's a top down with small sprites of Sam, and as soon as I saw it, that's what popped into my head.
Okay.
So I just didn't think. I thought the Super Nintendo version of this just looked a lot better.
I think that's a matter of taste because I don't have a problem with the way the Super Nintendo version looked. The Super Nintendo version of Jurassic Park, the top down.
It's two different because I think Ocean did the ones for Super Nintendo
They
and
did.
Appaloosa did the ones for. And this also came out on the Saturn.
Well,
although the Saturn version is like a completely different.
Sure.
game.
And I mean Appaloosa, I mean they didn't do the original Jurassic Park game. Like I mean this was like developed, like the Jurassic Park games like overall like have been developed by a bunch of different studios. So like I feel like that's also why there's a disconnect from game to game. It's because they're all developed by different people.
I wonder how far removed from any of this Michael Crichton is. Like, how much does he see? Any of this money does he see?
Well, he's
does
dead.
he get anything? Oh, okay.
So my answer to that is no.
How long has he been dead?
I think he died maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
Now watch, he's alive.
So he got to so he got to see plenty of his dream just spin out into nonsense.
I hope not. You know what I mean? Like I hope he like was just like, you know what, I did this thing called Jurassic Park and then I kind of just moved on from it. But it's probably impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine you are responsible for a cultural phenomenon, and it's like, how far removed from that can you get?
'Cause I'm waiting for that for Bill Watterson to die, and that happened to Calvin and
Don't
Hobbes.
do that to me. He'll never die, Tyler. Bill Watterson will never die. You know what I'm actually curious about is like when he dies, how long it'll take for us to know it, because he's like that secluded. And like I feel like he's probably got it in his will or something. When I die, please no obituary. Don't publish it
Don't
anywhere.
tell anybody.
Exactly.
Bury me in my backyard. No marker.
We're joking,
You
but
can invite Thomas Pynchon, and that's it.
yeah, exactly. So, man, why now I'm all bummed out thinking about when Bill Watterson's gonna die.
And then whoever his heirs are that get the rights to it will then whore it out for plenty of money with no integrity.
Oh, wow.
I imagine that will be the case, and then that's when we'll see a resurgence in it.
Oh, man, I hurt now. Why did you do that to me? You just made me realize that that's a possible reality.
Well, you've seen plenty of Calvin pissing on like Ford and Chevy, like.
But that's bootleg. That's how I can like deal with that. Like Bill Watterson, like
No cartoon. But you can put, stickers and Calvin Pink on stuff. It's fine. Go ahead.
well, he's got no control over that.
Yeah.
I mean, like that is all of that shit is bootleg, and like he doesn't see any money from that. Like that's just straight up some dude was, I guess, like, wouldn't it be funny if I straight up ripped this pose of Calvin out of a comic and added a P stream to it onto
Let's
a
cross
logo.
him and Bart Simpson together.
Oh my god. Oh man. Now
You're so upset you're taking off your shirt.
No, I am. Like I'm fidgeting with my buttons, like thinking about the possible 2040 where there's going to be a Calvin and Hobbes movie where Hobbes is like, dude, let's get stoned and let's watch some fucking wrestling, dude.
Voiced by Stifler, yeah.
Yeah. Or it's like I can't handle that. Like it's weird because it's like I can remove myself from so many things where it's like when people say, oh, this movie ruined my childhood, I like roll my eyes. I'm like, you just kind of separate yourself from it. But I'm a total hypocrite because if like a Calvin and Hobbes movie came out, that's how I would feel. I would feel like this movie is ruining my childhood because like I've got...
Well, because he'll be dead and have no creative control over it whatsoever. So
Oh,
even that would be the advantage of him allowing it to happen, and just that he would have some say in the process. That'd be a stipulation.
God.
Once he's dead and somebody sells off, because it could be 50 years from now, and the minute somebody tries to sell those rights, they're gonna get snatched up. It's gonna happen.
He has got to protect that in his will.
Because
he has got
his
to.
kids might care, but his grandkids aren't gonna care. His great grandkids aren't gonna care. Like,
I'm hoping. Here's what I'm hoping. Best case scenario. It kind of sucks to say this because Little Nemo isn't like well known, but like I think best case scenario is it goes the route of Little Nemo, where it's like this wonderful comic that changes how comics are made. And then, well, now I can't say that because there's Little Nemo cartoons and shit once it hits public domain. I've got no leg to stand on.
So I'm always reminded when it comes to shit like that, I'm reminded of Walmart. Because like the founder of Walmart, if you remember, like when we were little, Sam Walston, because we were really little. If you remember, like Walmart's being smaller and they were very strongly like American themed.
I don't remember that
because I remember like there being a lot of like American flags and having like a real like patriotic theme, and things were better for the workers back then. Well, once he dies and his kids take over, well, he was born and struggled to open up Walmart. His kids are born to the biggest fortune in the United States. So they don't have that same appreciation, so they crank it up to max out the money. And if you look up anything about his kids, they are just the worst fucking people. They are especially I think his oldest daughter is like just the biggest piece of shit. So she created this weird bootleg Calvin peeing on a logo. Sold it all over Walmart. So I just know distance yourself enough, even down your line, distance yourself enough from it, and they're not going to care. They're not going to be the same people.
But see, I feel like I don't honestly, I don't know. It's weird.
Kenna's granddaughter might sell out the TADPOG name and just ruin everything beautiful we've built here.
What she
for the TADPOG movie?
She and Henry, right? Man, oh now that I'm all bummed out, thinking about my favorite comic creator dying one day. It's just, man, every day I just have to face a new mortality. It's really sweet.
I feel the same way that we both love Bills. So the way you love Bill Watterson, I love Bill Amend.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I don't know,
I'm a little angry with Bill Amend, and I always will be, because I feel like he left his fans for World of Warcraft.
Oh, did it? Because the strip tapered off?
Yeah, the later strips are it's Jason making a lot of fucking World of Warcraft references.
This is Foxtrot, by the way. I don't think we've mentioned that yet.
And as that becomes more prevalent, then he talks about loving and playing World of Warcraft.
Right, and I remember those strips.
And then you start seeing, then he takes, they're only Sundays.
Right.
Okay, and then he eventually, but he still goes to comics and draws Jason as a night elf. So to me, it's you just really, you're like, oh, no, I'm going to play this. No, I got enough money. I'm good. Just sell the books. I'm just going to play this.
I can't blame him. I would do that. I would do that. Yeah. If I had enough money where it's oh, cool, I've got enough money now where I can do what I want to do. Well, guess I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it does suck, when you think about
for how much I just fucking loved it.
Right.
Every time a book came out, I was there.
You'd pee
My
on
mom would pee all over it, mark it as mine, could put it back together with masking it. That's how much I love those books. I put them together with tape.
I've seen them. I know.
So they're gone now.
I know.
Well, I don't know whoever has them.
That saddens me. Because what'd you do with them?
Sold them at a yard sale.
Yeah. Man, that bums me.
Somebody bought my
your pea-stained Foxtrot book.
But every Christmas for years, that's always what I got.
I hope it was a mad scientist who was like, oh, I'm going to clone this boy one day. You're going to live forever, Tyler. I'm going to collect all these yellow stained pages and make my real boy.
It's probably not just me. It'll be all of us because we all peed on those books.
Right? A version of all of us are being sodomized right now in a mad scientist mansion. We know only one word, Foxtrot, because we haven't been taught anything by this man. We know two things, Foxtrot and sodomy.
I mean, that's not a far cry from who I am now.
Right.
So
It's half mark of the beast, baby. Mark of the half beast, either way.
So Jurassic Park.
Woo! That was a tangent.
That's a tangent, yeah.
The Lost World. I liked it.
I feel like after we complete this list, this could be like bottom tier for us if we think it could be on there at all.
Could be. Yeah, I could be. I can agree with that statement. And I mean, it's not, it's
Because Moonwalker wasn't a great game, but it was just very different.
Moonwalker
So I
was
just
unique.
wonder if that's going to be a strong theme.
Uniqueness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could
Not
be.
necessarily greatness, just uniqueness.
I think that kind of fits our show. So, I mean, I think that's like a plus. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say that we're the best podcast, but I would use unique as a descriptor.
Okay, fair.
It's my favorite podcast. I'll throw that out there.
Do you have any achievements?
Well, I want to talk about.
Okay.
I do have some things that I want to talk that I do think are 100% we have to bring up.
Okay.
The boss sequences in this game. The boss sequences in this game break from the top down. Every single one of them breaks from the top down, and it goes into an almost weird 3D rendered boss scene. These are amazing. They really are amazing. And I
didn't even make it that far. I just drove around, just like killing shit, getting killed. All right, well, I can't drive on. Okay, I got frustrated with this game very quickly.
And I can see that. And I thought about you when the moment I got the Ford Expedition. I was like, I wonder how Tyler feels about this game, because
there are games that I see like Borderlands being the only exception. Because,
you hate
like,
driving in games.
I hate it. I fucking hate it.
Which reminds me, I wanted to bring this up. I really want to talk about Motor Racer 2 on the show one day.
Okay, that's fine.
I will buy this game for you. You will hate it.
Okay,
but I would like to talk about that on the show.
I think I'm open to game sodomy. It's fine.
Game sodomy, right? And your clone is open to a whole lot more. But the boss scenes in this game, they are an amazing thing to behold, because when I saw the first one, it was like, well, this is completely different than what I've played. This is completely different than anything I played on the Genesis, because it is like, okay, so the first one, and this is in the stream, if you want to check it out. The first one is you, Roland, who you taught me the name of the dude. You're Roland. You're on a motorcycle. You are Return of the Jedi style, maneuvering between trees while you chase a raptor that's being chased by poachers on motorcycles. It is like, when I was playing it, I was like, is this where they got the idea for that scene in Jurassic World where like Chris Pratt is very indoor-like riding his motorcycle through a forest with raptors? Maybe it is. Because that's essentially what you're doing, and you're like, so your bike also has like a rocket launcher. Well, it's a trank rocket that you like.
It explodes in
Right.
Sleepy.
Yeah.
The trank rocket.
That you're firing at the raptor and these poachers. So the setup is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to defend the setup, but the way that it looks is amazing for a Genesis game. This is no joke. It is amazing. And so I only got through the first stage, right? And the stages are huge, like you mentioned earlier. I only got through the first stage, but like after that, I was like, what do the other like ends of the stages look like? They look even more amazing. Like there's a scene where you are in a sidecar of a sport utility vehicle, and a Tyrannosaurus is coming at you. It's third person. It's coming at you. And you are firing at it as you're like, must go faster. Essentially, as much.
You play chicken with a T-Rex. It's fine. Yeah.
And it, besides the fact that the Tyrannosaurus is clearly a repurposed Velociraptor. It like does not look like a T-Rex. It just looks like a giant Velociraptor that they just strap T-Rex arms on. Beside that, It is amazing that it's on a Genesis. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that this was a Genesis game. So I feel like that is a very, very, very strong point for this game. And that, I think, is really what they mean by it pushed the game. Like, they pushed the hardware to the limits on this game.
Yeah.
They absolutely did. Like, what they managed to do is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And that is a feat in itself.
I guess that would be why the overworld is toned down.
Could be, right? Because like you can't, maybe they were just like, well, we've got 4 sequences. Is that enough for a game? The game's gonna last 20 minutes. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Probably everyone was like, fuck no, we need like some big things between it. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. I could see like what memory and things are left.
Right.
Like, okay, yeah, I can get that.
And I think that is probably a good extrapolation on that situation. Do I have achievements? The short answer is no, I don't. And I feel bummed out about that. I wanted to, but I was like, well, I should use lines from The Lost World, the movie. And I was like, well, I don't really remember any lines. So let me go to IMDb and look up quotes. Even like reading them, I'm like, don't remember that. Don't remember that. This quote's about a sandwich. It's like you compared to like Jurassic Park, where it's like, and when you gotta go, and hold on to your butts, and like all these fucking great lines. I'm like, well, I'll just use those as achievements. And I'm like, no, I had to save that for like a Jurassic Park game where you can play as a raptor.
Because we eventually have to do that.
We have to play that
Yep.
game. We
Yep.
have to. Like if the listeners don't demand it, I demand it. Like 12-year-old me fucking demands that we do
I'm all for
that.
it. I'm all for it.
And it's
We
probably
need a filler when we get to like Earthworm Jim and stuff like that we've already played for the Super Nintendo. So
absolutely. I think that's a wonderful suggestion. So the short answer is no. I'm sorry, I don't have achievements for this. And I'll take the slings and arrows for slacking.
I've got one. Give a clever girl the shocker.
Okay.
And you get that by electrocuting a raptor.
Okay. That is, okay, wait. I might be able to come up with one on the fly. I love it. I'm totally going to steal half of yours. Is that cool?
Yep.
But I have to come up with a name. Help me. Can we workshop this? All right, here's the achievement. Because I laughed my ass off when this happened when I was playing the game. Switching between guns in the game is a little cumbersome because you have to like keep...
I realize.
Yeah, you have to keep hitting the button in order to rotate through your inventory. And I was getting shot at by some poachers, and like I was in between weapons, so I just happened to have the electric prod, and I just decided, I was like, fine, this guy's shooting at me, and I Counter-Strike style, like knife style, just ran at the dude and shocked him, and he fell over immediately. And it for some reason was just hilarious to me, because it was just like this. It was such a like dramatic scream, because like when these guys die, they're like, "Rah!" And it's like they're like Dr. Monroe. Is that it? The Isle of Dr. Moreau. Thank you. Not Monroe.
The Isle of James Monroe.
James, right, exactly. You remember when he would like take all the U.S. citizens and just like make them into animals?
And then turn them into pigs.
All right. Well, now that I've solidified in the minds of our listeners that I am indeed an idiot who does not remember the book, the freshman high school book, The Isle of Dr. Moreau, it's so like fucking dramatic when you just like poke them with this prod. So I need a name for that. But the achievement is to humiliate.
Don't tase me, bro. There you go.
You just knocked that out of the fucking park, dude. You knocked it out of the Jurassic Park, I'd go so far as to say.
Hi-oh.
There you go. I like following up having no achievements with a shitty joke. And also not knowing the name of a very, very famous work of fiction.
It's fine. That's all I had, just the one. You got the one. We're good.
Do you know, Tyler, that Isla Nublar is actually the setting of the Isle? That is the Isle of Dr. Moreau.
I hope so.
It is. No, it is.
Oh, is it?
No,
really?
it's not.
No. It's also
it could be.
It's also where Man Bat was made. So
Man Bat. We did not talk about this game enough at all. Sorry. I hope you
I don't feel
enjoyed
like
the
there's.
show.
I mean,
anyway.
there's not a lot to it, to be perfectly honest.
I hate that
Top-down
excuse.
shooter.
Yeah.
Cycle through weapons. It's clunky.
Yeah. It has a lot of
it's
dinosaurs in
clunky.
it. I like that. It has a lot of different dinosaurs in it.
And it has nice boss battle scenes.
The missions are unique.
There are only 4. I think 4 that unlocks a 5th one, maybe, or the 3 that unlocks a 4th one.
Yes. And then the one that is the one that it unlocks is the boss stage for that, or it's the boss level for that stage.
Okay.
I do think like it's ridiculous how like by locked off, like on the first stage, the boss level is quote unquote locked off by a very simple road barricade.
Well, it's like an Earthbound.
Yeah. It's like, oh well, there's a log in the way, or there's a pencil in the way, so I can't.
As strange as this
progress.
sounds,
Right.
a pencil-shaped statue is blocking your path.
But Earthbound is different because they're meta about it, and they're
Yeah.
like, we're gonna let you know that this is a joke. But the Lost World is just like, no, dog, you're just Roland's dumb.
No,
he
you
does
can
not
do.
know how to get over this thing.
He can't jump. Doesn't have a rock's feather. It's not going to happen.
He thinks
Sorry.
he thinks the story is called the Isle of Dr. Monroe. He cannot work his way around the road barrier.
He's very obedient. He's not going to break any laws.
No, he's not. He's very lovable. That's why he got clearance to hunt the T-Rex.
Yep. Oh,
Tyler,
yes, Dave.
believe it or not, I had fun today.
Yeah, no, so did I.
I feel like this was a strong episode.
we had some
despite-
good non-game talk.
We did, and that's going to be in the description of the episode. But before we close things out, I have some questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
The first of which being, if you were to give this game a beard, what kind of beard would you give it, and why?
I guess I would have to give it the stubble, the chest hair and neck and face stubble of Ian Malcolm as he relaxes with his shirt open in the first
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Glistening.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love it.
Beautiful. Just because I guess it's still like I've never found. I think Jeff Goldblum is attractive now.
Yeah.
I do not think he was back then.
You don't?
So I guess I'm looking at it from like the cutscenes are pretty, but then
Yeah.
everything else is just
Okay. I like that. That's a good reasoning. I'm going to touch on Jeff Goldblum for a moment, though.
Okay.
I remember like when I watched Jurassic Park, I remember like thinking, well, he's flirting with Ellie in the helicopter, and she seems to be enjoying it. So maybe a weird guy can be kind of handsome. Like that was my takeaway from it, where it was just like maybe I got a shot. If this guy can like awkwardly talk to like Jeff Goldblum is like awkward, like he's got this like awkward charisma, which like he's like. That is a science for him, where it's like he has just like concocted this charisma that it's just like melded with this weirdness, and I think it's wonderful. I love Jeff Goldblum.
I guess he's adorkable. The current phrase for like Zoe Deschanel and people like that who are nerdy, but it's attractive.
But he's OG adorkable.
That's true. Yeah.
He's like he was adorkable before.
Earth girls are easy, dog.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I'm just trying to get us on tangents. You realize that? at
It's
this
fine.
point.
It's fine.
If you were to give this game a pair of glasses, what kind of glasses would you give it?
I guess I would have to give it the glasses that I think it's Alan Grant that whenever Laura Dern's character gets his attention when he sees the Brachiosaurus, and
Yeah,
he like
Brachiosaurus.
he subtly lowers his glasses.
Yeah, because he's wearing shades, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I have to give him his shocked at seeing a dinosaur shade.
All right. Because you're shocked to see this game?
Because like on the list, like, oh, Jurassic, The Lost World, like lower my glasses.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. All right. I love it. I love all these things. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I have another question for you.
Okay.
I want to know how much you might pay for this game on Amazon. If you were to buy it right now used, how much do you think you would pay for it?
It was so late to the game.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
in 97, like that's toward the end.
Do you know what the last game for the Genesis was?
Nope.
I'll give you a hint. It's the same as the last game for the SNES.
I don't remember. Shit.
Frogger.
Oh. Damn. Because I want to say Kirby's Dream. No, they didn't come out that on the Genesis.
That would be great, though, wouldn't it? A bootleg Kirby game for the Genesis.
Qworby.
Qworby. It's spelled with a Q. Qworby. There's like they just changed like 2 notes.
I don't want to highball it. I'm gonna say $19.
$19. That's a respectable guess. Tyler, actual retail value of The Lost World, Jurassic Park, used on Amazon at the time of this recording is $11.99.
Wow. Okay.
That's a steal.
Yeah. Sorta.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah. Okay.
I do think it's worth it. If you can't, if you're a collector and you need the cart and you cannot find this game, like if it's not part of a Steam package or something, which it probably is not because it wasn't a Sega developed game. I don't know, man. I think it's in that range where I think it could be worth it. Honestly, if you like dinosaurs and
If you're a dino boy.
if you're a dino boy like I am, then I think it's worth it.
Okay. All right.
Tyler,
Yeah. Yeah, dog.
I haven't done something in a while, and I'd like to do it right now.
Okay.
It's a little segment that we like to call YouTube comments presented by Nickelodeon's GAC.
I thought you were going to ask me, where's Appaloosa now?
I'll get to that too. I'll get to that too, my friend. I have one quote that I pulled off of YouTube. I skimmed through. I usually do because I like this. I like this segment, but a lot of times people aren't saying things that I find are worth mentioning on the show. But this one, I thought only because it was in all caps and I read it in a very confused tone in my head. I included it. Where are the goddamn dinosaurs shooting people? What the fuck? So there we go.
That's okay. That's a good criticism. I guess.
There are a lot of people that you murder on this island. I feel like that's actually the deal that Roland made. He was like, look, I just really want to murder a bunch of people.
I want to hunt the most dangerous game. The dinosaurs? No. The humans.
Oh, but sure. But you said T-Rex, right? Like on paper, you said T-Rex you want to hunt,
Todd
right?
Rex, yes.
Todd Rex. Man, you were killing it today. You were killing it. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
where are they now? Appaloosa.
I think they fucking defunct.
You're right.
Yep. Okay.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't think they were acquired. I think they're just gone.
I have a bit of trivia for you.
Okay.
Here's my question. We have already played a game on this list that was made by Appaloosa.
Huh.
What game was it?
I'm trying to a game on this list.
A game on Digital Trends Top 25 Genesis games.
Sounds like I'm trying to think, what games have we done on this list? Because I delete everything very quickly. Did they make Comic Zone?
Tyler, they made. Can I give you a hint? Oh man, they are Appaloosa Interactive is a Hungarian studio.
See that sounds like something I should remember.
I was hoping you'd be like, that actually makes it harder. They made Echo the Dolphin.
Oh,
They weren't Appaloosa at the time. They were Novatrade International. That's why I'm sure you didn't make the connection.
Yeah, of course that's
Right.
why.
But when I read that, I was like, what? Okay, so yes, they are defunct. But yeah, they also developed Echo the Dolphin in Hungary.
Huh, okay. That makes me a little sad. Looks like this was a studio willing to take a risk, and now they're gone.
I know. Yeah, it's a bummer. So if it makes you feel any better, several of the developers moved on to Mythos Entertainment. I haven't heard of that developer, but if you'd like, I can go down this rabbit hole.
Nope.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it there then.
Do you want to take a call or two?
I would like to
We can take a call or two or go down that rabbit hole.
This is a short rabbit hole. Oh, check this out. Okay, this is worth it. This is worth it. Okay, so here's the deal. Mythos Entertainment was a Hungarian video game developer. It was founded in 2002 and employed around 60 people. Here is the interesting part. It is now technically part of Square Enix because it was it was bought by Eidos, which was purchased by Square. Did I say that right? Is it Eidos or Eidos? I've always said Eidos.
I think it's Eidos. Eidos.
Eidos. You knew how it's spelled. That is, I mean, it was purchased by Square Enix. So there we go. Happy ending.
Okay.
So I guess, does that mean that Echo the Dolphin is owned by Square Enix now?
Yeah, he could be a summon in the next Final Fantasy.
Or he can show up in Tomb Raider? All these things, worlds are colliding.
God, I want an Echo the Dolphin summon now. I want you to go and have to fight that, what are they called? Eidolon? Fight that Eidolon of Echo the Dolphin.
They always name them something different in Final Fantasy, because it's like they're Eidolons, and then in Final Fantasy 14 they're Primals. Like they always change the name on stuff like that. I feel like
summons, calls,
espers.
Yeah.
So it's all, and I mean that's cool. I'm fine with it. It's
every different universe is a different name for them, I guess.
Right. Yeah, maybe. Speaking of which, man, I can't wait to get home and play Final Fantasy 14 because they just released a new patch that has something called the Endless Dungeon. Or it's not an endless dungeon. It's, God, what was it called? It's called Palace of the Dead. And what it is, it's a 50-floor dungeon that you enter. You can enter it at like levels, as soon as you're like level 17, you can enter, and you start at level 1. And it's like a mini game where you just like start from level 1 and you try to progress down 50 floors. Mm-hmm. You can do it solo, you can do it in a static party, or you can do it with a pickup group. And like, I cannot wait to go home and fucking try this thing because it sounds amazing.
Sounds very Lufia 2 to me.
I thought of it because I remember you had mentioned a game that had a dungeon similar to that, but I couldn't remember what it was. Yep. It was Lufia 2?
Yep.
Also, I Am Setsuna came out today, and I have purchased it, and I am ready to play that as well.
Okay. I will buy that too.
I took tomorrow off. Very last minute, I asked my boss, I was like, hey, dude, do you mind if I not come in tomorrow? And he was like, I guess not. I was like, fine, I'll see you Thursday. Do we have time to take a call now?
Yeah, just take a call. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the feedback we got on calls? I know we're probably going super long.
The majority of people said, no, we're good. Go ahead.
So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
That's the short of it.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for giving us your input. We got a lot on Facebook. We got some on Twitter. I got a few emails. The majority of the consensus was to have fun. Please keep having fun doing the show and do whatever you want to do. We're fine with the way that things are. Yeah. So we're just going to we're just going to keep on keeping on.
Yep. I like it.
I do too. All right, here we go. Here is a call from 757. I believe this is our beloved Adam.
What's up, TADPOG? It's your beloved Adam. It's April 26th, and it is 11:47 in the morning. I am driving home from helping my mom move some stuff around in their house. They're trying to move, and it's a little weird. I wanted to get some opinions from you guys. I'm 31 years old. I'll turn 32 in July.
Youngin'.
And we moved to the house that my parents are in when I was 2 years old, maybe 3 years old. So I've had that house in my life for nearly 30 years, and it's just home. Like, it's just my parents' house. There's wood paneling in the living room. The bathrooms have these awful, like, pink toilets with like teal green countertops and awful floor, like tile. It's an ugly house. But if anyone came into my house and said that, we would have words because that's my freaking house.
It's unfortunate looking.
So lately my parents have been cleaning.
It's somehow charismatic. It's the Jeff Goldblum,
of
houses.
It up, like, fixing things and painting things and remodeling enough to make it look nice without having to spend more than they need to without doing a lot of demo. And it almost doesn't even feel like, quote unquote, my house anymore. I don't live there anymore, but it's weird to think about them not living there because that's always been our house. And years from now, I'll drive past it and it won't even be part of our family, or other people will live there. Other people will be taking dumps in those toilets and jerking off in their bedrooms and all that stuff. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird, but like, I don't want to buy my parents' house. I don't want them to keep it. It's a 3-bedroom with an in-ground pool. My sister and I don't live there. So it's just, I get it. I totally get that they want to downsize, but that's just weird. So have you guys, do your parents still live in the house that you had as a child, or what was it like to move away from that? And I don't know. Just thought I'd be a little sentimental with some life questions and thoughts and things. 'Cause
I love it.
now you have kids, and so one day Henry and Kenna may move into a different place
Together.
And, just wanted to see what you guys thought about that, or maybe I'm the only person that finds it to be weird because I'm a grown man child that holds on to memories too tightly. I don't know. Either way, I never will forget to love you, and I never will forget to call you. And I'll give you guys a call back in a little bit because I'm finishing up a bunch of episodes. So you'll probably hear from me in the next 20 minutes or so. But love you guys. Bye.
We love you too, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
It's good to hear from you. I think this is an excellent question. I am an absolute blubbering sentimental when it comes to stuff like this. I mean, I hold on to like the stupidest things. So I don't think it's weird at all that you're having these feelings.
Yeah.
Especially because that house has been in your family for a long fucking time. I have this feeling about a house that we lived in Paducah for 3 years. And it's because I have really good memories of living there.
Yeah.
That's when I was like 6 and 7. That's the house that had the tree with the squirrel that lived in it, where I would set up the shoebox with the stick and try to catch it. That's how I spent a fucking summer. So it's like, of course, like that to me is very special. And like, this might be weird.
Man, that reminds us, that could be our generation's millennial gripe. Back when I was a kid, I spent a whole summer trying to catch a squirrel in a shoebox.
Well, I think that actually could be said for like our grandparents' generation. Like that sounds like something they would say. Trust me, I did it because I didn't have a Nintendo at the time. But this might be weird, but sometimes I drive by that house just to see it. Sometimes I just want to see the house that I spent 2 years of my life in. And I drive by it, and when I do, I feel those heartstrings tug. Like to the point where like when Nikki and I moved back to Paducah and we were looking for houses, that is the first street I drove down.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what if that house is for sale? Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
Because I want to buy that house.
I get that.
I think it's interesting. Have you shared where Tadpog Blanket Fort is?
I don't know. I don't know if I have or not. But yeah, that's ironic that you'd ask that question, though, Adam, because the house I currently own is the house my parents had when I was in the 3rd grade. So I have good memories here of this house, and it's weird. It was almost weird walking back into it and remembering everything because they changed very little.
Really?
Like the bathroom, in my, because now I'm not in my old room. I'm in what was my parents' room.
They used to do it here, you know.
They used
You
to
okay
do
with
it
that?
in this room.
Yeah.
Yep.
The sexual ghosts of your parents haunt this room, Tyler.
My dead brothers and sisters, my dead potential brothers and sisters, fill this room.
I've named all of them. I've written their name on the wall, but then I painted over it.
My dad named his ejaculate, every one of them. The half bath in here is completely unchanged. It looks like it's something from the 80s. A lot of the kitchen looks the same. It has a very ugly bar and ugly cabinets.
I like it, but maybe it's because, like, I don't know, that's nostalgic to me because it kind of reminds me of the house that I grew up in the same house I'm talking about. Because, like, we had that same kind of shit.
Yeah. Everything else is updated pretty nicely, especially the main bathroom.
I think this is a nice house.
But yeah, I'm happy. I enjoy living here, and I do get heartbroken when I drive by my old house with the annex and all that because I have to wonder too, what are they using it for? Right. What's in there now?
And that was a cool setup. The annex was a really cool setup. Your house was very nice, but the annex was like
that was the thing.
Very cool. That was a very cool spot.
Yeah,
like the game, cool spot.
I'd like to work. I'm working a little bit out in the garage behind this, the biggest addition that happened to this house, because the people we sold it to back when I was in 4th grade, 5th grade, on average, we moved every 2 years. The people who we sold the house to sold it back to me. So it's only had one owner since we had it. And he was a classic car collector. So he added on because there's a 2-car garage that used to be my dad's shop. He added on a 5-car garage to it. So there's just an enormous amount of space back there. And I'm working on taking the 2 garage part and trying to turn it back into something of an annex.
Annex 3.
But yeah, That will be a long work in progress.
There's just a lot to do out there.
There's a lot to do out there, and I wonder, I don't have everything just lined up perfectly for the original annex, because like I happened to stumble upon a lot of nice free carpet and things like that, and it was small enough that I could air condition it with just window units.
Right.
That out there is a lot bigger. It's twice, probably a slightly more than twice the size of the original annex, and I'm not gonna be able to carpet it for free, so that takes some out of it. And my dad did. He was off 1 week and went out and he replaced a bunch of the drywall and put a bunch of stuff like that out there.
That's
and
nice.
It has running water as opposed to the old annex.
Excellent.
But it's just
so it has a bathroom out there?
Nope, just running water.
Gotcha. Okay. So I tell you what, you probably run across this stuff more often than I do. But if I happen to find like free carpet or a cheap air conditioner unit or something like that, I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know.
It has windows, right?
Because it has 2 windows. I mean, I could put my 2 window units in it now.
I see.
I just worry about it being super hot.
Oh, it would be. So there's only 2 windows in it?
Yep.
Well, add more windows, dog.
And the 2 large garage doors. But
yeah.
I don't know. Because I'd have to, if I want to replace those, I don't want to make it not accessible. Even though, okay, I have an attached 2-car garage, a 7-car garage behind my house. Where do I park? Outside.
Right. Why is that? Closer?
Yeah, I just habit, I guess. So like, because Josh Nance made that observation last time he was over.
Well, except for the garage that's attached to the house, I mean, everything else is too far away.
Yeah,
honestly, I wouldn't want to walk.
Parking back in that garage would kind of suck. It's far enough away that you don't want to do it, but it's not super far away.
You brought up moving like every 2 years.
Yeah, within like a 10 to 20 mile radius.
So it's all kind of in the same location.
I could just take somebody around and show them 6 different houses within a few minutes that we've lived in.
I'm so glad you said that, because we are in actuality, I feel like we've let me put it this way. We have had a real conversation about possibly doing for real TADPOG prom. And I do think that if that happens, we need to rent a van and we need to do a TADPOG tour of Paducah and surrounding counties.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
And like get one of those intercom things that like we talk into.
Get a double-decker tour bus and we'll drive it around.
Oh yeah, let's get one imported
God.
from London, please. So my question to you is, since you moved around a lot, but it was within like a 20-mile radius.
Yep.
Do you ever feel the itch to like move?
No, I hated it.
Yeah.
We did it so often, and moving sucks.
Yeah.
And of course, I did it every year in college too. Every time my lease was up, I got a new apartment with somebody different. So I'm sick of. Yeah, I don't like moving. I'm sick of it. So yeah, I've never had that. The only thing, like, I love this house. The only thing that I would up and move for, is the dollar house.
Oh, right. Which you've mentioned on the show before a long time ago.
The dollar house has been
a house that your dad literally bought for $1.
Yep. Chopped it up, moved it across town, put it back together the way he wanted it. And the people we sold it to added a ton of shit more onto it.
Yeah.
And
does it look like the Technodrome now?
Yeah. and then they abandoned it. So it is in foreclosure.
Might get it for $1 again.
Man. Because
the $2 house, the double dollar house.
Because they added on like a whole nother building. It's a weird, that's a whole nother thing. We're running long, but I could talk about how wonderfully weird the dollar house is now and how badly I want it. But foreclosures are so weird. Like, it'll be years before I actually have a chance to buy it.
Oh, just because of the way foreclosures work?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I ask if you like get the itch to move is because I definitely do. Like, I get restless. And like by that, I don't mean like move to a different house. I mean like just go somewhere different. Like I get that itch like every 4 years. I'm like, what? I need to like do something. I feel like I've been here too long. So it's a weird, like, it's just this weird migratory urge, I guess, that I have to fight like every 4 or 5 years. I'm fighting that now because it's like,
I say it's about that time,
and
man.
that's how I knew, because it's like I kind of had this thing where it's like I just found myself like just looking at like lives in other places where it's like, oh, what kind of work do they have? Honestly, it's because like I'm terrified of, I'm not gonna say, I don't want to get political, but I'm terrified of who might get elected. So like, well, what are places in Canada like? Right. So that's probably what spurred it.
What are they
honestly.
doing in Mexico nowadays?
It's weird that I seem to have this urge every 4 years when there's a fucking election.
Nova Scotia. That's pretty.
Nova Scotia.
But thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud. So don't miss the next episode. I don't think we've talked about it.
We haven't decided what we're going to do.
Okay.
It is, since it's going to be another Ship Monday, I would like to elect for something very easy. And I say that because for very selfish reason, I'm going to be playing the shit out of Final Fantasy XIV and I Am Setsuna. I'm going to be mainlining these games. I'm planning on streaming all of I Am Setsuna if I can. So I don't care what we talk about, but I would prefer an easy one.
Well, it's been a while since we've done one now, because we haven't, we done one in this house, but it's been a little while. Well, has it been?
TADPOG, is that what you're leading up to?
TADPOG, or how long has it been since we've done? 2 weeks ago was when we did an all-call show.
I don't know, something like that.
Or we could do a TADPOG. Okay, I had a weird request.
Okay.
Or I saw a request today by
Someone
Phil
asked
Hawkins,
me to put my penis in their dream vagina.
and my whole body went numb. We could do a TADPOG about Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link.
Okay. I'm down for that.
Okay.
I mean,
because I love the shit out of that game, so I'll talk about it.
Let's talk about it then. And I can ask you ridiculous questions because I've never played it.
And then, if Phil loves it, Phil requested it. If he wants to do it, here's your invitation.
He does have to give us 50 cents, though.
Yep, you're damn right he does.
But yeah, but I'm all for that. If he wants to come on and pay us 50 cents, then yes.
So tentatively, we'll say that. We'll throw that out in the ether. We'll see if it happens or not.
Awesome.
We like 5-star iTunes reviews. Those are good.
Yes.
If you want to leave one, go ahead and you leave one. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Nice. If you want to send us something, you can send us something at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. But if you have any kind of request about a game you want us to play, a guest host you want, you can leave it on iTunes as a 5-star review. You can just ask us. You can just send us a message.
That's
put
cool
it on
too.
Facebook.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm pushing so hard for those iTunes reviews. That's just like you can just tell us. If you've already made a 5-star iTunes review, great. You can still send us a message.
You can still suggest
ask about
games.
Something. Yeah.
Here's the problem, though. I mean, it's not really a problem. Here's the caveat. Please do not get upset if we forget. Because we do forget.
Yeah.
And it's never like someone gives a suggestion and it's like, oh, well, that's shitty. It's never that.
We add it to a master list.
We did. And sometimes we do.
It's super long and we forget who made what request or how we could even fit it in.
We get a lot of requests, which is great. But I just want to throw that out there. It's nothing personal if we don't do the game that you suggested. It's just that it is honestly that we forgot.
Yeah, but we want to. We want to do it. Yeah. So whatever you request, Patreon request, games, host, we promise we will get to that eventually.
Don't worry, guys. Like Tyler said, we're going to be back. We're probably going to be talking about Zelda 2, Electric Boogaloo. Maybe not. Don't get mad at us if we don't. In the meantime, you can always find us on tadpog.com. That is where the show notes live. Would you like to find out if Michael Crichton's dead? That'll be the answer will be in the show notes at tadpog.com. You can also find us on Facebook. We're on Twitter. You can find us on Twitch, like I mentioned earlier. If you want to see some of these games being played, I do that as regularly as I can. I'm trying to stay strict and disciplined on that. I woke up at 4:30 this morning in order to do The Lost World. So if you thought that I might have been a little scattered today, that's why. You can also, as Tyler mentioned, we do have a Patreon. If you want to donate to that, you do get access to all our bonus episodes that we've already done. We do those monthly. Now is a great time to jump on board because we do have a backlog that you can go through and listen to. And you get in at that at like only $1 a month. So if you've kind of been on the fence, I really do think now is a good time. The most recent episode on Patreon, we talked about Super Mario Brothers the movie. So if you want to hear us
People
cut
seem
up
to
about
like that.
then do it. We might do more video game related movies. We've talked about that.
Yep.
So stay tuned. If you want to do that, you can find us at patreon.com/tadpog. I do want to thank Brandon Cates. who is a new donor. We hang out in Final Fantasy 14. He is one of my Final Fantasy mentors. So sometimes when I stream Final Fantasy 14, it's nice. He'll like check in and coach me. And I like that because I need it. Because usually I go into these dungeons with strangers having no idea what I'm doing. I also want to thank Exalted Lord Mike of Purdue for upping his donation, which he has done by a penny at the end of every episode that we publish. And I think that is a very charming thing that he's doing. Thank you.
Ooh, get an Instagram, TADPOG_podcast.
Yes.
You know, check that out. Other than that, I think that's it. I think we're good. Is there a way you want to, or our theme song continues, let's take more drop into that track we found at TADPOG.com.
Okay, of course.
Is there any way you want to close this out, Dave?
Like Jeff Goldblum as a house.
Okay. So until next time. Tropical, House of Corn.
I was going to do a squeaky door. I don't know why I thought he'd be a haunted house.
And we'd also like to include a
rare
special
shout-out.
message.
Yeah.
A special shout out from Erin Rooney to her fiance.
Should we give out last names? I mean, it's too late.
Yeah. To Paul Anderson. We're gonna throw that out there.
Hope y'all don't mind.
Hope you don't mind. You didn't tell us not to.
Hey guys, do me a favor. Go ahead and set your Facebook profiles to private right now.
We won't say where you're getting married, but they're getting married. And Aaron reached out to us wanting to surprise him with a message.
Yes.
So
apparently he loves the show.
yeah,
And I like to hear that.
Yeah.
So thank you for liking the show, first of all.
So Paul, Aaron wants to say, thanks for everything you do. She can't wait to explore life together with you.
That's a beautiful message.
The sex is beautifully and wonderfully. I forgot. I was gonna say I had a whole thing I was gonna do, and now it just like it flies away like a bird.
It's beautiful, beautifully,
adequate,
wonderfully painful.
It's wonderfully adequate and slightly painful.
But just not a lot, just enough. Just enough.
From the girth.
Right.
I mean, average length, but you're
right.
very girthy.
Just to know
It's
that
nice.
you got it's not nice because
Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
not a nice size.
It's okay. It's something like you can deal with for the rest of your life.
It's better than a nice size. It's like it creates. It's weird because it like soothes an ache, but at the same time creates a different ache. So there you
Gives
go.
you a bellyache afterward. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Sure. Yeah. I hope you like that, Paul.
No, she didn't say most of that. Most of that.
Some of it though.
Some of it, though, she did say.
But it was implied.
it was very much implied.
That's your goo to
And
be begging.
they invited us to their wedding.
I know, and I would really like to go to
Their
it.
open bar.
I would really like to go
It'd
to
be
it.
nice. It'd be very nice.
I have some. Well, I'm not going to give out context clues to where they're getting married, so never mind.
So, congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, and thanks for listening. I'm honestly honored that I would be invited to your wedding.